This hour on Kickoff, Manchester United announced they have agreed a deal for Raphael Varane. Is he going to be the answer? The centre-back they have been looking for so long. They've now got a partner for Harry Maguire, Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. And he is of the highest quality. Raphael Varane of Real Madrid. All is left, the medical and personal terms to be agreed. But we imagine that will be confirmed very, very soon. Add that to Jadon Sancho. And Manchester United competitors, are there no excuses now for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Get your calls in 08717 223344. This is Kickoff. You can text us as well, 81089. You can tweet at talkSPORT. Let us know your views. Is this the solution? Have Manchester United now found the answer with these two transfers? Jadon Sancho, who brings creativity and skill, and Raphael Varane, a centre-back of the highest quality, a World Cup winner, 4-time Champions League winner. He's won more than Manchester United altogether. I mean, frankly, they couldn't have got a better signing, and I think it's going to be all in less than £40 million. It's unbelievable for a player of his quality. Danny Mills, earlier on, you were saying that you don't think he's going to adapt, or he might struggle to adapt. And I just think that's madness.
You just don't know with foreign players coming in. He's had his injury problems. When you look on average throughout his Real Madrid career, only played about just over 20 games a season in the Liga. 10 years there, 219 games. So that's, he's obviously had injury concerns and injury problems. A lot of those games are against seriously inferior opposition. This is not the standard of the Premier League. This is not the aggression, the robustness, the intensity of the aggression. And I got
there are very good teams in Spanish football. Look at the finals record against English teams over the last 15 years.
And I'm not doubting he's a fantastic player, but it's whether he's able to cope with the rigours of the Premier League. We've seen lots of players come in before and haven't managed to do it. And let's go Man United players: Varane, Falcao, Di Maria in there. Depay went to Man United. Forlan as well. Schweinsteiger, Gerard Piqué. All Man United players that didn't adapt to the Premier League.
Piqué was a youngster, but even if I take some of the others, fine.
But then you look at the likes of Deco, Shevchenko didn't do it. Higuain, Morata, Morientes. These players could not adapt to the Premier League. Didn't make them bad players. Didn't suddenly say they weren't great players. They struggled to adapt to the Premier League, and that may be the case. I'm not saying he's had it easy at Real Madrid, but he's been alongside Sergio Ramos, one of the greatest centre-backs, for a long, long time. You've had a midfield quartet in front of him that have dominated possession, and you don't have to do that much defending in La Liga games. That's going to be completely different in the Premier League. We know how physical it is. We know how intense it is. Look at those two. Look at it, when you look at the teams down there, Levante, Eibar, Getafe, Granada, Cadiz, Elche, Osasuna, Mallorca.
I mean, there is currently a Spanish radio show going on where they're saying Watford, Norwich, Brentford.
Yeah, okay, the quality might not be there, but what I'm talking about is the robustness of those. They're going to give you a game. They are going to make it physically very, very demanding. That's a completely side of the game that he's not particularly used to, and certainly not used to it week in, week out. And that's the only doubt that I have.
Manchester United fans, let us know what you think. 08717 223344. Is this your hallelujah moment? Have you finally got the centre-back you have been dreaming about at Old Trafford for years? I think Raphael Varane is going to be simply brilliant. I think this is the best signing, including Jadon Sancho, that Manchester United have probably made for a decade. And you can throw Paul Pogba and a world record fee into that as well. There is no way I'm going to stand here and say that Raphael Varane is fortunate to have won a World Cup and 4 Champions Leagues. I'm sorry. Yes, he's played in a great team with great players. All great centre-backs are good enough and fortunate enough to be rewarded usually with that. So let's be honest, you can take Maldini's in this world.
Yeah,
you can take the greatest centre-backs of all times. They had great midfielders and great strikers in front of them because they were great centre-backs. And he is an absolutely fantastic centre-back.
I've given you a long, long list. Of players that the way that the Premier League is, the way that the intensity of the Premier League is different to any other league in the world.
What about the
We
Champions
know
League?
that.
You played Champions League. What's the difference then between the Champions League and the Premier League? Because he's won 4 Champions League, so if he can excel there, can he excel in the Premier League?
You're looking at 6 games, realistically, in the Champions League that you have to perform in the latter stages.
But the intensity, how does it compare?
Well, but that's what I mean. That's 6 games over a period of time where you get a couple of weeks in between. The Premier League is every single week. It's tough to do that. And that's why there are a lot of players that have struggled when they first came in to the Premier League. It's taken them a while to settle in. Havertz has struggled to settle into the intensity. Timo Werner struggled. Thierry Henry struggled back in the day in that first little bit. Nicolas Anelka struggled when they first came in. The Premier League is so different to any other league. Most of those top teams in Spain, they dominate possession. They dominate the league. You know, they're looking after it all the time. They're not under much pressure. That doesn't happen in the Premier League. You are constantly under pressure. You have to be at it. And that's just listening to all the foreign players. Angel Di Maria, there's no reason why he shouldn't have been a fantastic success at Manchester United.
Listen, I don't even think he was that much of a failure at Manchester United.
But
I think he played okay.
But he didn't settle.
No, he didn't settle, but that could have been for a variety of reasons. But I think out on the football pitch, he did not struggle. Angel Di Maria with English football, I just didn't see it. I wish he would have stayed at Manchester United. I wish he would have been happy in Manchester.
That's the only doubt that I have.
I understand what you're saying.
If he performs, he's an outstanding player. He's won everything. But there is a doubt with his injury record and the amount of games that he's played. A lower intensity of whether he's going to get through 40 games, 45 games a season. What Man United are going to have to do.
So if I said Lionel Messi signed for Manchester City, we're going to have the same conversation, are we?
But unless you say to Messi, okay, you can just do what you want and you don't have to track back and you don't have to do this, it's hard. That's why Pep rotates that squad so often. Most of those Man City players, get rotated. They miss because you've got such a big squad and such a squad of quality. Most of those players probably played 28 games in the league.
Let's say Raphael Varane is what we've seen in Spain and what we've seen for France, a top draw centre-half at Manchester United, in alongside Harry Maguire. Depends who the goalkeeper's going to be. Luke Shaw in the form of his life. Aaron Wan-Bissaka there as well. They've brought in Jadon Sancho. And the squad that finished second in the Premier League last season, of course. Are there any excuses now for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in terms of winning trophies?
I don't think so. One thing that Varane does have is the winning mentality. And he knows how to win. He knows how to get over the line. That is something that Manchester United have struggled with massively under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They haven't been able to do it. So maybe he can change that dynamic and just take them, whether that be in his professionalism, whether that be in training, his experience, all the things that he's been through to get them to that next level. He brings that and he adds that to the team as well. So, that's a plus point, from that side of it. I think, with the money that's being spent, obviously you bring in Sancho, you bring in Varane, probably maybe another one or even two in this transfer window. Yeah, I think that there's huge pressure on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to go out and win something, although he's just been given a new deal.
I'm absolutely delighted. This is the happiest day as a Manchester United fan for a long, long, long time. I've got to say, I think everyone heard me talk about the news on the evening that Ed Woodward was announced that he'd be leaving at the end of the year.
As a Man U fan, who would you rather have, Ramos or Varane?
Yeah, I mean, we're splitting hairs here. The only thing that would come into it really for me is age. I mean, we're talking 2 top draw players. Who would you rather have?
I think I'd go Ramos because I just think he's the extra experience that he's got. I know he's older, but if you're talking for a couple of seasons, I think Ramos, he's got that killer instinct that I will take a card or do what it takes.
I think 5 years of Rafa Varane takes him up to 33 years old. So I think Manchester United could easily get his best years in many ways, given all the experience that they've had. 08717 223344. I want to know what you think about this. As I say, as a Manchester United fan, this is probably the happiest that I've been because I've said it before. We've had other presenters. Simon Jordan, he said it. If you're going to talk about yourself as being the best football club in the world, you have to go for the best in class. And this is Manchester United's second transfer of the summer. I think they're getting the best possible players into the squad. That is what the big clubs in Europe, the big clubs in the world should be doing, aiming absolutely at the top. And for me, it seems like Manchester United have turned a corner to doing that once again. I'm absolutely delighted. Let me know what you think. 08717 223344. We'll take your calls next here on talkSPORT.
Kick-off with Hugh Wozencroft. Tuesday to Thursday night, 7 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.